start up, and it started. Okay, so hi guys. Okay, so I'm here with a beautiful special guest star that you guys have not seen yet. You want to introduce yourself, beautiful guest star?
Samantha.
This is my bestie. This is my bestie. This is my ride or die. So, yeah, watch yourselves, bitches.
All right.
So, okay, we were just having a great conversation about morality and karma and evil and good and
Yeah, who's to say what evil is and what's not? I feel like that's just a human concept. It's just something
Correct.
that we've pushed on ourselves and each other.
Correct.
To think what evil technically really is. And even on the extreme amount of things, morality is what makes you decide those things.
Yes, personal morale. Again, and that's where don't have a lot of people would like, okay, a lot of people like what you think evil is, like, do you really think that? Like, have you ever given yourself the chance to understand, like, to question that, to think about that? Or is that somebody else's opinion you just bandwagoned on? Okay. Oh, okay.
But
Let's see. Hey, you up? Not right now.
So no, you're absolutely right. It's definitely it feels like they're trying to bend you to their will.
Yes.
And I'm just not.
They're
I
trying
don't
to
know.
conform you to how they live.
Right.
And again, like how you live is great.
Right. For you.
For you.
Right.
Not for me.
No.
And this is where I will bring up, like, this is where I have a thing with, like, a lot of religions do that. And Christianity, Wicca, even, like, there's a lot of religions. No offense to Wiccans, not everyone does it, but but for them, like,
I have no care if you're offended at all. What I
no,
say
because
personally,
right. If you are these type of people, if you are oppressing your beliefs on other people,
right.
no.
Why?
If you're trying to tell them that, that if that's what you do and that's wrong, no, you got to do it the way I do it, you're wrong.
Right.
I don't care.
Wrong. I don't care if you're offended. This is my opinion. It's not going to change. It's not.
Right.
I don't have to keep it on hush or stay in my house and say it. I could say it wherever I want to say it.
Exactly.
Just like how you can say wherever you want. Where you like, I don't care.
Right.
I can say whatever I want.
Right.
It doesn't. I'm not saying you have to live like me. Like how you want everybody else to be. Like,
I don't
live
care
like you. I don't want to. Right.
The way I live, really, probably most likely 100% of the time will not be the way you live.
Right.
Because we are not the same.
Right.
We are all individual.
I'm supposed to live for me, not for you.
Correct.
So it's how I want. However it is I want. I can do anything I want. If I wanted to, like, shoot up heroin, I could.
And it gets me because it makes me think, if you truly, if how you lived your life truly worked for you, why aren't you satisfied enough with that? Why do you need to recruit others? Why do you need?
I think some people, it starts off like trying to do that with your friends because I do think it stems from a good place most of the time.
Okay.
When it gets to a grander scheme where you're trying to profit off of it or benefit like a way off of it, then I do not think that it's of good a heart to do. But I feel like a lot of time, because like even personally for me, like I do try to give how I live like to my friends or to my family and people I care about because I want them to be happy, and that has helped me. So I view it as a way of trying to help that
like
person.
Sharing in the community. Okay,
like it's more like it's more like trying to help a little bit. But I'm not saying you have to do it. And I'm not saying that what I'm doing is going to help you or work. Right. It's
Give
not.
it a shot.
Right, you could try.
Right.
I've tried things that people have told me and it didn't work for me, and I just stopped doing it. As long as like you try to do things that might help you, as long as there's a hope, or at least there's a little sliver of this might work, then I understand. Like then do it. But so I understand why people try to spread
and share
their things. I get that. That's
spreading the news.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I'm leaving today. Like so I get it. No, like I totally see. But you're right when it comes to a point where you're trying to profit off of it. Like we did discuss you wanting to have a book.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. You want to have a book and stuff like that. it's hard to think about what do I want to do. You know, you probably want so many things in it. You want to share ideas, and you'd also have things that you don't want it to be. Right. So that's why I said, you know, maybe make it something like a memoir type of thing, where it's like this is about me,
and what I do.
Right. This is what these are my experiences, my stories, my things that I've gone through. Right. You know, make it about you, and that's totally fine. There's tons of memoirs out.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
people
yeah.
people specifically like to read memoirs. Like,
I know people are nosy. Like
yes,
me.
I get it. No, I totally get it. You know, and I'm not saying that like, you know, you're for you know, you're the guy.
No, yeah.
Like, you know, not everybody, but sometimes like some people that they're not to say you're nobody, but people that are like not in, all of a sudden they be how else do they become in?
Exactly.
Yes, there's some they could do something drastic and something whatever, but sometimes it just starts from something like small. I'm just talking about me, and that's it. I'm just So like that's another thing of like you want to share it. It's not saying that you want to profit off of these things. That's not why. I think for you it's more exactly like trying to share how you feel about stuff so other people could see. I get where of course money's going to be involved, right? So of course there's going to be profit at some point, right?
But that's no just shame how I in could that. Also spread the news better.
But that's what I mean. I think yours comes from more like you want other people to see where you're coming from and how you live, and maybe inspire other people to see these things. Like not even inspire them, excuse me, to see who you are and like maybe become like it, you know, but more so like some people feel alone. Maybe some people
you read my mind. I was just gonna say it's like this because the like thing I feel that way, but I don't know like for like when it comes to like witchcraft and certain practices and certain old traditions and ways, and just and a lot of witches know when you're a witch, it's who you are. You can't deny it through the good, the bad, the ugly, and it doesn't help if the outside people in your life suppress it while you're also trying to suppress it. You know what I mean? It's very hard to find out a way, and a lot of us become clinically depressed with anxiety, can actually go a little cuckoo. It's not always a pretty picture for people like us who are sensitive to the other side, who have feet in both worlds. It's not like that. And I want to not only put out there like, hey, you're not alone, but here is where you might find yourself.
Yes.
If you don't keep searching, you will.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to find it
but
here.
For those who do find it here, this is for you. I want to welcome you. There's a bunch of there's a bunch of works and stuff like that you can go to, and that'll help you great. But certain things just connect with certain people, and certain experiences are shared with certain. You know what I mean?
No, I totally see what you're saying.
And people have certain ways in how they do things, and it's not very common, but to certain people it's spoken, and it's like a calling, and it's something that they can't, you know what I mean? And that's where I want those people to find my work and to find stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, hey, you're not alone, and come home. You know?
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
That's how it felt when
I get it.
you know what I mean? It felt like coming home.
No, trust me. No, that's how I felt once we like. That's why I know you're definitely a person that like you inspired me in that way too. Where I was like, okay, this is something like, because you know, I think a lot of people. I mean,
sorry if you hear my rings.
My mom is similar. Or she believes in like these things, and these are like she likes those things. I think sometimes maybe she goes a little off deep end, but my dad is totally different. Where see, that's why they thought in a little maybe.
It's worth it.
Okay, I'll get it. But like you said, come home and things like you inspired me to realize, okay, maybe I'm not crazy. Because I had
oh my god.
Yeah, I used to think I was crazy.
You like literally when crazy. We became friends, this girl literally warned me basically and was like, I'm schizophrenic. And a part of me at the time wanted to scream, no, you're not. But at the time, like I couldn't. You know, at some point.
Well, no, I think, like I said, there was definitely a blocker between us, like in a way that was not. Yes. The things I hear about, stuff like that. I literally thought I was crazy.
Mike. Okay, sorry guys, we're back. We're back. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My neighbor is just telling me about the roses and the plants. Apparently, it's gonna be freezing tonight. So, okay. Sorry if you guys. I don't know what you guys didn't hear, but we're just gonna continue.
Right. But no, you're like I said, definitely thought I was crazy. I was depressed. Yes. I had severe anxiety. I was very suicidal for a long time because I felt I was dealing with so much all the time. And it was really hard for me. So it's like, I think that's why your book would be good. Yeah. Because it would help those that need, just to not, like I said, I thought I was crazy. Right. And until we actually started like talking and getting into it, just like one-on-one was when I was like, yeah, like I definitely see. I mean, actually, for me, it was just a little. I think
it was the dead.
I think it was
not
something.
The dead, but the death. Mama Darina, how you doing?
Yeah, no, it was that was definitely something I was like, okay, wait a minute, because I would help. I didn't mind helping you, of course, like when you wanted help during your workings and things like that. That was not because I didn't like. I thought to myself, if it works for you, that works for you. I'm happy for you. That's great. Like it didn't. I'm not affected.
Right.
Okay, like it's not. But I didn't really get into it until I'm like,
yeah.
Someone start talking.
Go ahead. You can tell the story.
Like
we love these kind of stories. So this is the story of how our girl Sammy here became a Santa Morte devotee because I have a shrine to Santa Morte in my living room. It's a giant fucking cabinet. I said giant, like it's ginormous. It's not that big, but
it's really tall.
It's tall.
Yes, it is a whole thing.
But before that, it used to be this on top of this little cute ass electric fireplace in my closet, and my bed is how it is now. It's kind of right next to my closet. And go ahead.
Well, you had your ancestor altar out there.
My Boveda.
Yes, your Boveda was outside the door, like right outside of the door. Actually, where the Santa Morte cabinet is now.
Well, not really my Boveda, because that I think is Santeria, but it was my ancestor altar.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, no. Well, you were doing something for them. Because I'll be real, you were not keeping up on something. Yeah. I don't know what you were. I don't remember exactly what it was.
I think it was just cleaning the glasses.
Probably, yeah, it was probably something like that. Yeah, you just you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this," and this was definitely. I was getting that
confused with the other story about when they was mad because of my cousin.
Oh, that was another one too.
We can tell that story later if you want.
Yeah, that one I could tell after.
After
so,
this,
you were saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna make it up to them with this and all this stuff," and she
I was going
Santa
crazy. I was getting ingredients to make an incense for them.
Yes, yes,
I was just going crazy looking for like wormwood or something.
And I was sitting on the chair that's right by the closet where she was, Santa Morte, and
that's right, you were on the chair. That's why I was sitting so much closer.
Oh yeah, I was sitting on the chair, like right next to her. Like the curtains were open, like everything was open. I don't even think you had curtains.
No, I either I did or I didn't. But I know like when you were home, when you were here, she liked when my curtains were open. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think you had them at the time.
No,
because I don't think your room was read yet. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so
no, I don't think
really
it was even read
no,
yet.
I think you're right. I remember
No.
White Walls during this time.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't even think it was read.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hear her literally say to me, he thinks that's gonna do it?
Mm-hmm.
Is he out of his fucking mind? Like, yep, okay, sure, Kev. Like, basically, like, you know, she wasn't saying, but she was, and I was like, I started laughing because I found it so funny that she was like, he thinks that's gonna work? Mm-hmm. What is he, losing his fucking mind? Like, you know, and I just was dying laughing, and he came, you open the door, and you go, what are you laughing at? Mm-hmm. What are you laughing at? You know? What are you laughing at? I do it. That sounds way more. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Don't fucking laugh at me. Like, yeah, bro. Like, you know? But, and I was like, I don't know, man. Yeah. I was like, bro, I don't fucking know. She's talking to me. Mm-hmm. And you were like, what?
And you know, like, I will say this for people who are like, how do you know that's not just a voice in your head? I will say this.
She's very
Santa
distinct.
Muerte has a very distinct voice. And when she described it to me, I'm like, there's no, like, doubt about it.
Yeah, it was like a, like, oldie, like, yes, like, it sounded like it was coming out in whisper, but it ain't a whisper because she could be very loud. So, yeah, no, it was just really weird. It's never sounded like a voice I've ever heard.
Right.
That's what I mean. Like, I've never heard, at least in this time period. Never heard it. Never even watched a scary movie and heard the voice. Right. Never watched the History Channel and heard somebody try to pretend. Like, no. There is no voice like that. And it's very different. And it was like, that was like a moment for me. I was like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. Like, something about, like, maybe I'm not crazy like that for real. Like, I always thought maybe not, because seeing what you dealt with. Seeing what you've dealt with, like the things you've heard and seen, I'm like, see, I've seen like crazy stuff too.
Yeah. I was gonna say, see, a lot of the thing is too, it's like, okay, like you said, you've been, I'm sorry, my throat is
me too. So I don't know weird. What that's about.
Sorry, hold on, guys.
Mm-hmm. My voice was doing the same thing. It still is. I don't know what that's about.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so it's one thing, like you said, like when you've been around with me for so long, and like, yeah, like you've seen me do my thing, you know, and it's one thing to like, you know, see stuff, you know. I mean, again, it's like, you know, you've seen the witchcraft. I don't know if you were really seeing the results or anything like that, but it's like,
the neighbor.
But it's one thing where like, you know, you're seeing it, yeah, whatever, and then you actually witness it and you actually experience it for yourself, you know, and it's like, whoa. It takes you into that world. It's like something grabs your spirit and yanks you into the witchcraft world, and it's like, and you realize the world, like, what is, like, every day is not what it seems, or whatever, what is Selena says?
Everything is not what it seems.
Yeah, that, whatever. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think for me, it wasn't even just like, it wasn't like a moment or something I experienced. It was more like talking to you and like sharing very similar experiences. Where I was like, see, he looked at it a lot differently than I did, because I was around, I was around people that were like, oh God, like you must be like, you need to be on medication or something. And I wasn't put on medication because I was too young to be put on anything, they said.
I was blessed to have my godparents who brought me in, like, once I explained what I saw and what I, you know, everything I witnessed, they would come to me and be like, no, see, child, you are gifted. You are like us.
Right.
And so they led me a lot into that.
Well, that's good to have, like, you know, people that I mean, my grandmother was like, my nana, she was she was like that, because the things I would tell her, she was Bible thumping, you know, so she was. Yeah. Yes. So that was her way. Like, she was saying, like, oh, that's on you. Say this prayer before you go to bed for 10 days. Okay, you know, she would say stuff like that, or like, wear this on your neck.
They were more like
that was what she would tell me.
They were spiritualists, but again, they were the gifts. They embraced the gifts under the name of God.
Yes, she did not. She was more like, oh my gosh, that means like something is going. Yes, like you experience it, but you shouldn't be. Right. Basically, I should be like left alone, or I should try to suppress. So a long time I did, like a very long time I did. Like I would say, like, you know, you had where you lucid dream and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I was able to lucid dream like that.
Astral project or lucid dream?
Lucid dream.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Astral project, that's like when you're leaving your body, right?
Yeah.
Mine was more like, no, I was creating the reality.
Yeah, that's lucid dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was literally I was able to lucid dream like that. Basically, you know, found one of those online like things like right, you know, when the internet was kind of new, like it was like 2012 or 13 or something. Right. You know, like, you know, when you had your phone, you could go on your phone and do it. Yeah. So you found this little thing, thought it was silly, whatever, and you know, one of my friends was like, "Oh, let's try it," and I was able to do it like that. Mm-hmm. And I was literally attacked, like God. In that world by something that literally, and that's why I think another reason I think that also contributed to why I was very suppressive to these things, because I thought that which is it's true, it's true, you could easily be, if you are gifted in those things, you are going to be easily not attacked, but I guess seen by things that want to do that, want Correct. Your thing, or want your gift, want to be able to take advantage of you and those gifts.
And this is something I'm thinking
gifted
of
people
like
do.
Talking about in a future little chat with Roman. But when you step the second you step into the magical world, the witchcraft world, the whatever world you want to fucking call it, but when the people know what I'm talking about, when you step into this world,
yes, the other realm,
a bell goes off announcing your arrival. You become a beacon of light. Okay, my child. Things are gonna come left, right, center field. Both good, both not so good.
Yes, right.
And whether, you know, you're just getting into witchcraft or just diving into your own gifts or anything like that. Yeah.
Yes, I was immediately like touched, immediately bothered, immediately hurt. And it like literally shook to the core. Like where I was like, I can't do this ever again. And that's how it felt. So I get, you know, like I think that was a reason why I was like, I don't want to mess with it, because I just knew like, oh, something's gonna happen again. Right. Like it always did. Like it always, like, and that's not even the first time. Like, that's what I mean. That's not the first time these things would happen to me. And and I always dealt with stuff.
Of course, gifted people.
Yeah, always will.
Right.
Right. And you don't like, I definitely think that was a thing. Like for a very long time.
Yeah, no, see, that's where, my grandparents, my godparents,
yeah,
they helped me embrace the gifts and learn how to channel them. And again, it was under the name of God, but the gifts is what lead me to becoming that, like, to lead me to recognizing myself as a witch and diving that way and dealing with it with magic and everything else that they deemed horrific, diabolical and demonic.
Right.
But that's not my fault.
No, I understand that. I mean,
because it isn't any of that.
my dad's more like sciencey based, so that's why it was like definitely like maybe there's something chemically wrong, you know. Right. And things like that. He believes in God and things like that, but he doesn't practice. No, so that's why it all went straight to a doctor type of thing. And it was, I never really got to like experience my gifts, or not. I mean, no, I definitely got to experience them, but to work with them, definitely not until you probably, where I was like, this is something.
So you recognize that it's not insanity, but gifts again.
Yes, like that's when I realized I was like, I could use these like to my advantage instead of being scared of them, instead of thinking that they would hurt me, you know, or like stuff like that. Because I definitely thought that for a very, very long time, that like these things were here to hurt me. And not only a lot of people were scared of me for those things, a lot. Like a lot of people thought like, what are you doing? Like, are you gonna hurt like yourself? You're gonna hurt me. You might hurt. I don't know what's gonna happen. A lot of people were scared of me for those things, or they would try to make it seem like it was bad, like I was evil or something, and I believed it for a very long time. I thought, yep, there's something really wrong with me.
Brother, don't claw my leg.
Oh, jeez, all right.
Sorry, got cats, guys, and they got sharp ass claws. Damn.
But I get no. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I believed it. Definitely. Like, I believed all of those things.
That's where,
because
again, like, my book would be perfect for
right, for people
who,
that are like trying
yes,
to not feel like everyone thinks that
right,
something's wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you.
Either you're insane or you're evil.
Right,
And it's
nothing.
like,
Right, nothing's
no,
wrong with you.
I hate that. I heard this one question that was asked of like people for like us, you know, what is like the biggest misconception you hate that like people believe? And they answered, and there's a perfect answer, that everyone just thinks we're evil. And just everyone thinks we're,
Well, I think the reason why people think that, I think it stems from like an internal thing, and I think it's because it's I would say people think it's evil not because of Hollywood, depicting
no,
these
right,
things. It has to stem from something definitely internal, and I'm starting to think that it might have something to do with like blasphemy almost.
right,
Because everyone has an internal bias, like religiously, whether you believe that or not.
right.
Like everybody internally, well, okay, not everyone,
Most
but I would say
people,
most people,
I
especially
agree.
born in America,
Correct.
you're here,
Correct.
you're going to have
You say the Pledge of
Catholicism
Allegiance
and
of the fucking
Christianity.
every day at
Yes,
school
it's going
under
to be based
God.
on a big
Right.
God, like
Right.
one big
Right.
all dude
Right.
up in the sky. Like it's
Right.
all about him. So when you start saying things that are prophetic, like I have things that almost God could do, or Jesus, who is part God, then you look evil.
Right.
They thought Jesus was evil. Like,
Right.
come the fuck on. It's all the way back even in the fucking book, bro.
Yeah.
Like, once
Yes,
you notice
ma'am.
somebody has almost godlike
Yes,
abilities, you
ma'am.
want to hate on them. So should we hate women?
Right.
Should we hate women that are able to create
Oh
human?
yeah. Oh yeah. Because I was just about to say that, because you guys are
Because
out here
that's
making life
that's
like
godlike,
God.
right? That's godlike.
And
So
hell, they did hate women.
right.
Hello.
Like, yes, there's definitely some horrible
Oh
misogyny
my
going on.
God.
Like,
Oh
but
my
it's
God.
it's crazy. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm like, but if we are made by God and part God, if this is still for me, it doesn't fit in their concept, because that means I am part God.
Correct.
I am part of him. I am
Correct.
one. I am just.
Right.
I
We are
actually am
unity.
almost one with
Correct.
him.
How you doing?
So it makes no sense whatsoever, and I think that's what scares them.
It's like
I think
the
it scares
representation of
them.
Baphomet. We are them, they are us. As
Right.
above, so below. As
Right.
within, so without.
Period.
Hello.
That's what I mean. Like, you're scared because I'm able to do things that maybe don't fit in your ideas of what my capabilities are, of what humans' capabilities are. And
that goes back to also just like forcing, like demeaning people and forcing them to just think like them so they can have dominance.
Agreed. It's yes, of course.
Like it all just
we've always
wraps
said
around.
we've always said everybody has these abilities that we have. Everybody has the ability to do these things.
Right. Everybody is gifted. I don't like when I say like we're gifted, I don't mean like we're special or anything. There's some people that are just more sensitive and more prone to have sensitive.
Some things are,
you know what I'm saying?
Some gifts are
But
easier
everyone
to
is
some
fucking
people.
psychic.
Yes.
Everyone is a witch. Everyone is nature.
Right.
Whether we try to exclude it or not, whether how much we try to separate. Humans are the only species, the only animals on this planet that tries so fucking hard to separate ourselves
everything
from nature.
Yes.
And it's so
sad.
Pathetic.
Yep.
It is so fucking pathetic.
I
Honestly,
agree.
Wake the fuck up.
I agree.
The fuck up.
Right. I that's what I mean. Like, it's crazy. Like the amount of like people that think those thoughts.
Right.
And anyone could do it.
Correct.
It's just you might choose to suppress these things. And you're right. Some things are more easy, like clairvoyance might come easier to someone than clairaudience. Right. And that's just because that person is easier at doing. It's easier for them to tap into it.
And that's them.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
You could tap into it too. At any point, if you wanted to, like if you wanted to,
if you want to, if you
can do that. Yes.
Then you could do it.
Right. In this, and I think what we do a lot is we try to limit ourselves to our bodies, and that's the problem.
That is the problem.
Because
you are limiting yourself to just the five senses.
Just the skin that you have.
Way
that's
more.
There's so much more you could do.
You have the extra senses.
Right.
You have extra bodies. Like
Right, in this realm, on like in the 3D, 5D, or whatever they call it. What is it? This 3D that they call 3D. It, right? Okay, yes. So they call it the 3D world. I was just arguing
with flat earthers about this. This is not a 2D dimension.
Right, impossible.
It's 3D.
Because then how come I can see all sides of this? But regardless.
Anyway, repeat.
Yes. No. Like in this realm, in this 3D or whatever, yes, you're right. You can't be a bird.
Correct.
You are right. You are limited physically. You are physically limited. Absolutely. Here. Absolutely. But guess what? If I want to go to bed tonight and lay on my back with my head propped up perfect on the pillow and astral project out of my body and become a damn bird, I could be a bird if I wanted to.
Guess what I'm gonna do? Like, that's what witches did back then. That's why all these stories.
They were able to even see things that they weren't even a part of, and they were able to come back to their bodies and say, that's what they decided to at that meeting. Oh my gosh, this is what I just saw. And that's why they're like, oh my God, witch, they're bad. How did they know that? Right. And it's like, because I'm gifted, because I can do things. Because I'm not limited. Right. Because I chose not to be limited. But thank you. I don't have to be limited. Right.
I could think for myself, and God forbid you thought for yourself back then. God forbid
not allowed.
You thought about yourself today.
I was gonna. You know what? I was actually just about to make that point. You can't do it at any point because of, unfortunately,
times haven't really changed.
Yes, we're too much like. See, okay, that's almost dabbling into that separation thing, where it's like once again we're trying to separate ourselves from a collective, but the thing is, collectively, there's certain things you can't disagree on, while of course there's other things that we can be separated in, like man and woman. We are separate. Yes, we are genetically down to the bone, but collectively we are nature. You cannot deny it. You cannot say
we
that
we are both individual, and at the same time we are both unity.
Correct.
And have the balance and know how to have discernment. Again, that's my word of the day. Discernment on when to use for what to use.
I'm on Sesame Street.
Yeah, so
letter of the day, D for discernment.
Are you there?
Okay.
Are you there?
There.
So yeah, Phoebe, please don't be a nuisance to reality.
Right. Come on, move it up.
You were just fine over there.
So I get it. I get, like, that's where I mean, like, you're right. We need to start understanding concepts better. I think that's a big issue for human.
Yes.
Is called understanding. Because there's no understanding at all whatsoever in a lot of different things. Like, because I don't have to agree to understand.
Correct.
Don't have to do that.
No, I do not.
It's not something I have to do.
I most times don't agree and understand.
Right.
Hello.
A lot of the time.
Yes.
And almost every single time. Because how can I make it? How
to, like, that's how you live your life. That's how they live their life.
Right. How could I agree or disagree if I don't understand? So for me, I have to understand first and foremost before I make a stance on anything. Right. But I think it also stems into this. This has to be a fear-based thing. Absolutely. Fear has to be the basis to all of this, because when you are making a stance and not understanding, that's out of fear of something. That is out of fear of something, because it's out of fear of accountability or whatever it is.
Fear of the
unknown. Yeah, it could be, because say you do. Say you do. Say like this is a simple topic that anyone could understand, but it's literally because you don't want to seem capable or seem to understand. Right, that's what I mean. Take accountability for these things. You just make a stance,
right?
Because you don't have you think you don't have to know. You don't have to get it.
You think you don't matter.
Right. That is a whole other thing that pisses me off.
I know.
That you don't matter. Okay, listen. Things don't matter. Okay? Things do not matter. Right. You do. You do. Because once again, there is, out of billions and trillions of people that could have ever fucking lived, which I've seen this video so many times, I always talk about it. You lived. You were given the opportunity to experience the thing called human life.
Hello.
Human life. Do you understand how selective that is? Do you understand you in comparison? Exactly.
You have no idea.
Yes.
It's
and when you
gift.
waste
Whether you think it's a gift from God,
whoever you think it's
a
from,
gift from
it's a gift. Period. Point blank. Down to science.
It's correct.
It is a raffle that you won. You just hit the lottery. Do you understand? You hit the lottery.
And that's something
I could have been a damn dinosaur. Okay?
Right. I could have been blown up in that asteroid.
All the way. Yes. I could have been anything. But I won the lottery. Right. And I was able to know how to talk, to be able to communicate to other people, to experience things with my hands. Things I could pick shit up, son. Not with my mouth. I could. But with my hands.
Probably with my popcorn, I do.
Right.
That shit delicious as fuck.
No, you be using your hand.
And I was at the movie theater with Civil War, By the way, I did not like that movie. If anybody thinking about going to watch Civil War, it was not good.
So you went to see it?
Yeah, it was not good.
Bro, you watched the trailer, said you didn't like it. Then went to go see it?
No. I watched the trailer, thought I liked it. Saw it with Chris, Craig, and Anthony, and it was horrible.
That was what
that was. Yeah.
Right.
But I got the popcorn, and I doused that shit with butter. It was dripping out the bag. How you doing?
You got problems.
Actually, I only ate half of it and left it on the ground for the... I should have picked up. Sorry, don't cancel me for that. Yeah, no, yeah.
Litter bug.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh my God, my hot tamales fell all over the fucking ground.
I'm about to go to the Pharaoh's Drive-In soon. Like whenever they can open up and stuff like that. Yes, because apparently they make pizza rolls.
What?
I didn't even know about, and they make them just right crispy, and they're pepperoni. And Kaylee was telling me about them, and she was like, "Sam, they make them perfect, and they give you tons." She's like, "They give you like 50 of them, and it's like $8." And I'm like, "Girl,
there's so many movies."
Yeah, she's like, "We should just go." Yes, and I'm like, "Bro, I'm about to buy a truck, like just so I could just do this." I was like,
tailgate.
Right. Like we better anyway. Okay, back to this. Sorry.
But again, so many movies I want to watch too.
There's so many things that I think are coming out that I'm like, wait, I've been wanting to see. Evil's coming out. Have you heard?
No.
March. May 23rd. I think.
I was about to scream.
I think it's May 23rd or 22nd. I don't know if it's 22nd or 23rd.
Is this the last season?
It's gonna be so good. I'm excited.
I'm so excited. It's the last season.
Are you Pop Smoke on my Paramount, by the way?
Yes, I'm Pop Smoke.
Bro, so you changed yours to Leland? Yeah. You know who mine is? The Nun. Andrea.
Yeah, I literally saw all the characters. I'm like, well, I'm most like him.
I thought I was most like her. That's why I picked her. I was like, I'm definitely Sister Andrea.
Low-key, I love them when they're together.
Yeah, so they're on there.
Period.
Because I was like, who did that? I didn't even notice. Yeah. Like, I didn't notice yours, so you must have not noticed mine. No, I don't know who.
I don't know who did first.
But it's probably
we did at the same time.
Okay, anyway, so
okay.
My bad.
No, it's okay.
So
sorry, we were talking about Evil, guys. That's a great show. If you guys haven't seen
on the Paramount channel.
So it's 30 amazing. Coins.
30. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. There was like, what happened with that? On the last episode, end of the second season, it's fire.
I know. I'm excited.
You just pulled that out.
I know. Can you hold that? Can you not do that, Phoebe?
You're hurting yourself.
Why would you do that now? Are you okay? Calm down.
You're right, Mama.
Animalistic nature. Anyway.
Okay, baby.
What were we talking about? Thank you.
Not being appreciative of life, human life.
Right.
That's what we were talking about.
Yes,
basically.
We were.
And that's the thing I cannot stand because.
And the reason. Say something. That's something. I don't know if it's a Wiccan thing or what, but I've heard people say you can't witchcraft is not for personal gain. And I want to just I don't know who the fuck. I'm just over here this is not an episode of Charmed, guys. Witchcraft is probably specifically for personal gain.
Nobody's saying you have to use it in a way that
no, you're not gonna
right.
right
Because I don't know exactly what's bad for you.
Don't get my words mixed up, guys. I don't mean like you're out here
no,
trying to win
no,
the
it's
lottery
literally a betterment for you. It's all about bettering yourself. It helps you better understand your surroundings, better understand everything,
to make our lives easier and better.
Correct.
And to have, I mean,
correct.
Not for everyone. Okay, I will say it's not a path for everyone, and I don't expect it to be.
No.
But what I do expect is there is a path for everyone.
Period. I agree with that.
And that's where I have seen a lot of pagans where we don't care what your belief is. As long as if you stand strong and you have your thing, then great, good for you. A lot of other religions don't feel the same way.
Of course not.
But no,
you're on the path.
I don't expect my path to be your path, but I expect you to have a path.
Right. You're on the path. You
Right.
don't have to know
even
where
if you
it
don't
leads.
even if you don't know where
just
you
follow.
at. Correct.
Like hello.
Like
just follow.
Just follow. Say it again. Just follow.
You're on the path. You don't need to know where it leads. Just follow.
How you doing?
Like, come on.
With the
Trust me, you know when you're not on the right path because then stuff starts not going right.
Right. Trust me, things
are gonna happen. Yeah, things are gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. But you'll know when you're not because
if you think your boyfriend has a demon, trust me, he doesn't. You're just
get rid of him.
I love how that just went so left. He does.
Get rid of him. Tripping. Even if he did have one, get rid of him.
Get rid of him. What that mean, bitch? Get rid of him. You want to date a demonic person? No,
not only that. Even if he does it, the fact that you even had to think that for 1 second, he's got to go.
Gotta go. You're not on the right path. Gotta go.
He's got to go.
Gotta go.
Because trust me, that demon would tell you, and I'll tell you what, he's not going to. So get rid of him. Okay. Even actually, if a man starts telling you that he has one, he doesn't. He's just trying to find a scapegoat for why he wants to be so shit. Yes. He just doesn't want to take accountability. Right. That's what it comes down to. Right. Blaming it on Dren. Goodbye.
Blame it on Dren. Goodbye.
Get real.
Oh my god.
Get real.
Blame it on Dren. Get real. Get real.
Right. Thank you. You know,
I don't even remember
the video with the Leo.
Oh yeah. Get real.
Get real. But
oh my god.
No, I can't stand it because it's just I think I can't stand it personally for personal reasons. Why I can't stand people that don't appreciate, because I was a person like that. I was cynical and very cryptic almost in how I literally spoke. I thought, like I said, I was also told a lot of people at the time, not blaming them at all, but I was put in a mind space, yes, where I thought, oh, there is something wrong with me. Mm-hmm. Maybe I am evil, because the things that I experience, nobody else I know is experiencing them. And when I tell them, they get scared of me. So, yeah, I definitely thought that, and that's why maybe I thought nothing matters, because even when I try to get help or think I was doing something, I didn't get anywhere. Yep. And I think that's why I don't think I was very open to things. And it seems you have to be open. You have to be open to wanting to change and to care about your life. To think, wait a minute, this is my life. No one else is living it for me. I'm the only person that's going to change it. I'm the only person that's going to benefit from it getting better. I'm the only one that's going to not benefit if I destroy it. I'm the only one that's going to get hurt if I choose to destroy it.
If you let other people live your life, then you will never live your life.
Yes, happiness is not about what you do or what you say or anything like that. It's about you. It's literally about you.
Correct. And I understand, when you say, people were scared of you, because I remember all my friends in school, back when I was younger, the only friend, as you witnessed, who stayed for me from, young childhood is Quentin and Emily. Oh. And that's because their asses are the exact same way as me. Not really Quentin, he's just more interested, while Emily is a witch. Right. And everyone else couldn't, like, they would not want to be friends with me because every time they come around me, ghostly experiences,
Always
ghostly
something.
encounters.
Yes,
I've
that's what
had
would.
fucking screaming because he heard ghosts in my room.
That's well. See, that's no. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Where that's why I would suppress
Yes.
very heavy, like with my friends, and it took a
Yes.
lot of. Why do you think? I always try to think like how I was able to deal with life and things. And yes, I was going through stuff, and there was stuff going on in my life that was not good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But being on drugs and drinking the way I was
Mm-hmm.
able to easily suppress those things
Right.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was helping. I thought it would help in the betterment of everyone around me because anytime I dabbled into just a little bit
Right.
of like something spooky, something spiritual, anything
Mm-hmm.
like that,
Mm-hmm.
something it would go haywire like
Mm-hmm.
every single time in the sense of every and like I
Because
said,
your
people would
energy.
be scared.
Right.
People would be very fearful. The only person that really wasn't was Kaylee. Like she was more
Yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
are you okay? Like
Mm-hmm.
she was very more like what the because she does experience things. I think she is a suppressor out of fear
Mm-hmm.
because like just like how I was, but hers is more like she likes kind of being in the 3D more
Right.
because she has more control.
Right.
And while with those things she hasn't learned how to
Right.
control. So I get it because I'm like I was
Mm-hmm.
also in a time where I did not know how to I couldn't control out
It's
here. I
scary
can't control
because
in
yeah,
there. I
it's
just wanted
yeah,
to ignore it
exactly. It's
all.
scary because when you learn about basically a whole other world,
Hmm.
it's like
I was living in a whole
you
other world.
think
Another person, another version of me was talking to me
right,
like almost every night.
right. So it's like
I tell
but
people
that's
you're
also
crazy.
where you also have like yeah, you have double the not control, but you also have double
Double
the
the
control.
control. It's
Exactly,
up to you.
exactly,
Yes. And
exactly.
I think that's where it was like fear, where I was like, I don't have control here and I don't have control there. And everyone's
Mm-hmm.
telling me that something's wrong with me. Anytime I tell them what's going on, what am I supposed to do with that?
Correct.
Like, what am I supposed to do? And a lot of my experiences happened alone
Mm-hmm.
because I would suppress and I was really depressed and I'd stay in my room. And there were many, many nights where it it would happen,
Right.
and I would just kind of be like, at some point, I literally said where I was like, I feel like things were being tainted by a certain like entity
Mm-hmm.
where it was fucking with my
Mm-hmm.
discernment. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was messing with my reality. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was definitely crazy and had schizophrenia because I could not decipher what was my reality and
And what
what
wasn't.
wasn't
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of things were happening.
And both.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what was real. And actually, a couple of times when I was here, when I was living here, I told you that I was having like a dream where I was living out the entire day of what happened.
Mm-hmm. And then you woke up.
And then I'd wake up and then I'm living that
Living that
day
day.
again. And I was like, so wait, that wasn't real?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm confused. And I was like, I was nervous that something,
Mm-hmm.
was going to happen again where I was like, oh God, I don't want him to show up. He usually shows up when I'm doing this, when I'm losing my
Mm-hmm.
mind or something. And he tries to mess with me. And now I realize where I'm like, he has just as much control over there as I
That's
do.
right. Correct.
So
Correct. So who you
who are
want to
you
fight me?
scaring?
You want to fight me,
Right.
bitch?
You can't scare me anymore like that.
Bro, shit.
Like you could try. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be if I'm having a dream or something and I don't have control in the dream, yeah, I'm gonna be scared of my dream.
Right. But
Be like, oh
but you at least know how to wake up.
right.
You
I
know
can
what I
wake
mean?
up. So it's like you
Exactly.
don't really get
So
the
what are you
control.
gonna do?
Right. That's what I mean. So eventually I wake up and I wake up
Be
I'm
my
like, that was
patience.
terrible. Whatever, I'm living my life.
Right.
When I was younger, I was waking up like he's gonna show up here and kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, what the fuck? Like
Mm-hmm.
this is because sometimes he would show up in real life. Like and try I think to spook me. Like literally to spook me. And I would be like, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was heavily scared. Like,
Yeah.
this is scary. Like, this guy, because he was never kind. He was never a kind
No.
guy. He always wanted to hurt me.
Mm-hmm. He's an asshole.
Yes. I mean, I knew he wanted to hurt me. I knew that he must have was trying to hurt me the first time he appeared.
Mm-hmm.
Not even off of what he did or anything like that, but I had my grandmother But I think I've told you, she stepped in and was like, get away from her. Was like, you need to leave. Like, and my mom actually, she recently told me a story about this, and she was like, she said that she was seeing a similar guy when she was pregnant with me. And she was talking about how she had a really weird dream before I was born.
No, I'm
Right,
scared.
dude. It was actually no. She just told me this. She was saying how like,
guys, I'm learning
Nana,
this with you guys.
yeah, my grandmother and my Nana, she used to see him when she was a kid. That's why she told me to say these prayers, because when I told her, she knew exactly who it was. And my mom was telling me how she would see a similar guy, but she didn't see the exact guy. My Nana always told her that it must be the same guy. He must change forms. Because she was like, that's this, because it would like it raises goosebumps every time. Like, I'm like, nah, this guy, like, and I guess when I was a baby, her grandfather, right? She said that
you need to watch
what?
What's it called? Mayfair Witches, because this shit sounds like it. Like,
bro, I've never, but I've never seen it. I'm not trying, like, that's why I'm like, this is my story. Like, I'm not trying to, like, I'm not like, no offense to anybody if you, I'm not like that, but she was telling me how she had a really weird dream where I wasn't born yet. I wasn't born yet, and my mom had the cribs of the bassinet, whatever. She had it set up, and her grandfather, who's dead, was in the dream, and he was like standing by my bassinet, and he was always standing there, and he was telling her like, you need to watch out. He kept saying, keep him away from her, keep him away from her. And my mom was like, who are you talking about? He was like, the man. He's like he's after her, right? And she said that she woke up from it. She said she was confused. She didn't know what was going on. She woke up from it, and she said, she's like, I smelt his cologne like in the room. She was like, I was like freaked out. I was like telling your father about it, and he was like, my dad, and he was telling her, you're crazy, whatever. I was born at this point now. They finally all moved into the house because they got that house like a couple weeks before I was born. And in my bedroom, my mom had a separate bassinet and a crib, and she didn't really put me in my room or anything like that. She didn't really like me in there. And she was laying down in her bed. I was laying down in my crib, and she was talking about how her grandfather, she was smelling his cologne like crazy. So she was freaking out because she was like, oh God, is he here? So she got up out of bed, ran in my room, and she said, like, I saw this man like standing over your bed. And I was literally like, what the fuck? She's like, I ran over, turned the fucking light on, and gone. She was like, I was freaked the fuck out. And I still don't know who it was, but she's like, but my grandfather warned me, I swear to God. Like, to this day, like, I got goosebumps talking about it. Because I'm freaked. Like, yes, when she told me, I was like, what? She was like, my grandfather. And she goes, and he like does not play about stuff. Like, he hates certain things. And she said, he warned me that some man was after you. And I was always so like scared. She said, she goes, I never put you in your crib after that. Like, I never, ever put you in there. She was like, because I was freaked. Yeah, she was like, I was freaked the fuck out. She was like, and I remember as a kid, I hated being in that room because eventually it became my bedroom.
Right.
And, when I got old enough, and I was still sleeping in it till I was like 5. I hated that room because I would always say, like, I feel like there's someone standing by me. So and like I would tell her that like all the time, and like they literally started putting all this stuff up in my room. The people
visiting me is like my dead uncle. Like,
no, I'm getting like horrific somebody. What? And my grandfather is my grandmother that told him to get away from me. That's his wife. Yeah. That's my grandfather Mike. Yeah. He said, get him away from her. And he was telling my mom, and my mom was like, who are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Do you think this is like a spirit or like
I think it's something like an entity, but it might be like, I think it might be an entity, especially or like an entity. The only reason I could think it's an entity is if my mom was similarly seeing a similar man, that my Nana would see the same man as me. she would see the same exact, like, down to it's like we described the same dude. Like, I don't know. Like, and I used to draw like pictures of him. Like when I was younger, like, he's in my room. Like, don't like him here. And I would tell my mom.
Oh yeah, I also had shadows.
Right. You had a friend. I had an enemy. Like, and so if he is able to, I don't know if it's the same. Like my nana and I always say we don't know if this is. She thinks it could be, but if it could change forms, possibly, because I mean he never what. What, did it move over there? What? What are you talking about? You scaring me.
Nothing.
The man is here. He's coming to get me.
No, he's not.
I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
So no, he's not.
But it could be that. But I mean, he used to scare my mom, but not enough to stick. Like nothing to stick or anything like that. With my nana, she was still seeing this man like living at Kohler Road when I was like 5, 6 years old. Like she was like, he was in my room. Like he was in my room and I was like, what the? How are you back? Like, because she's like, I haven't seen him since maybe like the 80s in the house. Like their old house in Brooklyn. Right. She was like, and I was born at that time. So I'm like,
so what the fuck? Something about your family.
Yes, I'm literally thinking something generational. That's like, you are after something. Like, what are you after? And well, that's why I told you. I was like, what if his whole premise was to like suppress me? You're not allowed to do anything. Because anytime I did something, he would come in, like get me. Anytime I did anything like that, he'd attack. Like anytime. Your house is probably the first place that he's never attacked me. Even when I've done anything. He's attacked me at Tim's house. He's attacked me there. He's attacked me anywhere I've ever been. Here, he's never attacked me. He hasn't attacked me.
That's why what I just saw, I know it's nothing bad because it could.
Well, no, that's what I know. No, I know. I'm joking with you. No, I am. No, yeah. Not. I mean, at my new place, no. Yeah. No, ever since I actually worked with Santa Morte. Yeah. No. Safe. That's why I'm saying like she must be like really. Oh yeah. Doing something. She must be doing something because she's.
I gotta get her and Michael done.
Okay. On my leg. You're gonna be slaying it. But you know what I mean? And I mean, when she told me that, I was like, Mom, and you didn't tell us this? Like, even when I told you, like, when I was like 14, like, that this guy is like harassing me, and you were like telling me like I'm being dramatic, and my nana was like, what are you talking about? She was like, come over here, like, talk to me. What happened? And I tell her, and she was like, he had the hat, right? I said, Nana, yes. And she was like, it was like piercing green, right? You can't see him though. I said, piercing green. Like, it's like bright ass fucking green. It's not even a normal, like, you wouldn't even see that on a person. Like, it would be, that's a contact lens. Like, you are joking with me, brother. You must have just went shopping at like Spirit Halloween. There is no way that you are real. Like, and I was like, what the, and like when she just, like, I was like, what the, but he hasn't been able to attack me. Good. Because like, you're safe. Well, that's what I mean, where I'm like, I think it was, yes, there's definitely protection. A lot of good at stuff like that. Well, yes. Yeah. I also think like there's a lot of protecting like there's a lot of protection around me now and a lot of things like that. Especially with your, but I also think now I don't think he's even strong enough to do something. Oh hell no. At this point. Like I said, with like you I think he lost. With your freaking with Santa Muerte, with your ancestors. Like we've spoken about, my ancestors and your ancestors are like besties. So you have like quadruple the army you've ever had. And he's there's no there's no shot. So I'm gonna go pray on someone else's family. Well, that's what I mean. Where I'm like, I'm gonna have to probably do something to my own children because I'm gonna be like, nah, like before, like, you know what I mean? Because you were gonna try, and I'm gonna have to make it like a traditional thing, like some weird thing to make it just seem like, oh, this is just traditional. What we do with all our babies. Do it. Even if it ain't the disguise of a baptism. That's what I mean. Like it's gonna have to be something where it seems like that's what it is, but it ain't. because it's really something like generational that has to be protected. Because if it went after my grandmother,
right,
and then she said then my mom was like, yeah, this guy, like, she just kind of like sweeps things under the rug.
right.
Like they just don't like, it's like, because she's like, it's fine, like I don't care. And I'm like, girl, you can't be like, as like, you just, it's either that or you just can't, your energy can't be easily like touched or something. Not, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Maybe something like you're not as sensitive
Right.
to like as to
To energy.
energies. Like you could
Like
be to
this,
some
see, this
things.
is where I understand because my father, as well as you know, he doesn't. There's rare times, like when there was a very bad entity in the house and he knew about it. He was like, "Get the shit out of my house." Like there's rare times when he knows something's off, but for the most part, he doesn't experience anything like with ghosts or anything like that. But during that time of like, say, for example, that entity being in the house, it controlled him first and foremost. And if we don't even want to talk about that, let's talk about when we were in that house and the dark spirit in that
That's in there,
house.
yeah.
I swear to God, turned him into what he deals with today.
Like the alcoholism.
Everything, the alcoholism, the everything.
Right.
He's broken free with some things like cigarettes and like like there's like a lot of behavior and stuff he has broken. Again, we're not under that influence anymore.
Right.
I will be honest, my workings are a lot stronger where I push him out, like,
right,
and others, you know what I mean? So that can't happen. But, oh, yeah. Like, and that's where it's like, I understand, like, they're not very easily receptive, but when it comes to, like, if, like, those entities want to pry,
want to
they'll be
hurt,
the first
right,
ones to
to
get
get
targeted.
touched, right. That's what I mean, where I'm like, maybe that's something they choose, like, to be. And that's what I think, maybe because she could definitely read things, like, and she could see things sometimes, but she's not easily like, I'm heavily like, something happens to me and I'm like, that's it, like, nope, done, I'm like spooked the fuck out. Like that just got me, like I mean, not all the time, but I think now I've learned, like more so. I think still like it messes with my head a little bit. It's not like messes with my head, but it's more like I think I get anxious because of like the high frequency that it's like going off. Because I mean, that's not very uncommon,
No, it's not.
If
Not.
anything,
It's
it's
like
more
during the
common.
solar eclipse when we both got randomly sick.
Like I was sick.
I threw up.
Yeah.
Like, how did I get drunk off of
I
2
was
drinks?
literally sick. Like Kira,
What?
literally, like she came and like as soon as she came, she left because like she was like, are you okay? You don't look good. And I was like, I'm dying.
You were transparent.
Like
I'd say you
I'm
were
dying.
white, but you're white right now, huh? You need a little sun, girl. I get some vitamin D in you.
Girl, how about I just put on some Jergens fake tan and I got
I'm down with it. I'm
okay.
down with that. Oh my God. No. So, no, yes, we are
way more sensitive.
Yeah, and certain frequencies, when especially in spiritual places that are on a certain frequency, just it's
well, yeah, like I said, I
know,
think I
overwhelming.
like for instance, when we did that ghost thing and I mentioned it to you the other day, like I said, there's people in the basement, right? I wasn't anxious in there. Like they're literally standing freaking behind me and I'm not like freaked out or anything. But when I was upstairs where like the kids were, I was like anxious as hell. Like the kids must work at children ghosts must work at a different frequency.
Right. Than
adults or like than the people that are down, like maybe they're lower vibration, and the children were way higher up, like they were like, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm everywhere.
And lower vibration doesn't mean bad.
No, it just means no.
Good, just for people who think,
exactly,
oh, that's a low vibrational spirit, that doesn't mean they're bad, so no, correct. They do definitely. Children spirits are way. Are you kidding me?
There was like
even in the living, they're like that.
Yeah, there was like 10, 15 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, no, it was heavily in there.
I would literally need to excuse myself.
Like it was, Kevin, it was heavily in there. Yeah. It was really crazy.
I wanted to excuse myself at the tattoo shop just because of that one guy pestering me.
That's why, like, I was literally I was like sitting there like quiet because I'm like, what the? I gotta relax. I didn't have it there, but I know when I got home, and when I got home, we went on that trail walk, if you remember. You
Yes,
came
yes,
back
I
from
do, because that's
the
what we were talking
shower.
about. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I came back
The
with you and everything.
shower.
The
Oh, my cousin.
yeah.
Yeah. You're
So
right. Duh.
yes. So when we went when I got back, I had a little bit of a headache. Like I had a little bit of a headache driving home. But I think that was just like because of like,
No,
when you're
yeah.
trying to decompress
No, yeah.
like
Especially
everything.
you gotta cleanse yourself, little goddamn,
Florida water
Exactly.
again.
How you doing?
Literally.
How you doing?
Like it was
Splash
well
down.
actually I told you I didn't even need to cleanse. Do you remember me telling you that? Because it was raining.
Mm-hmm.
And I listen, I didn't have to cleanse. I walked
No,
outside, it was pouring
nature
rain.
did
I
it
said,
for you.
like I
And
literally
you
told
got
my mom, I was
extra
like, stand
cleansing.
outside for a minute. I literally
Right,
told her that. I was like,
exactly.
just stand outside for like a minute.
Yep.
Like we'll be
Well,
washed.
yes, we'll be
like
good. Trust
like yeah,
me,
nature
nothing gonna
cleaned us.
talk to us.
Yes. I was like, we just got
I
cleansed
love
by
the
the rain.
rain.
Yeah, and it literally wasn't raining when I came back
No,
home.
yeah. Well, hello.
Right. As soon as I went for
No,
that
we
walk
went
with
on a
you, it was
trail.
done.
I was about to say we went on a trail. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
God.
so it wasn't raining then?
Nope.
Right. It was raining
So,
there
I
right
gotta
when we
take you
left.
to the train tracks. By the way, you gotta remind me.
Oh yeah,
And it's
back there,
nice.
right?
Yeah. Oh, so nice.
Mm. But no, like some people maybe they're just not. I've always been very.
I have, yeah, for since the dawn of my birth, I and there's a
Apparently,
yeah.
I've been at the like I'm like Sam Winchester or something.
No, it's not D. What's that?
Oh man.
Makes sense. I want. Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. Anyway,
No,
no,
you
I'm not
more
gonna say
like
that.
Sammy, bro.
Nah,
Unfortunately, look at
I
you.
really am.
Yeah.
I know. We're not gonna talk about that though. You have always been the dean to my Sam, even though your name is Sam.
Yeah, but I ain't got no.
No,
I'm not.
no.
You be.
Yeah. How you doing?
It's okay.
This is bizarre.
No. But it's like,
So
yeah, no, you're right.
yeah,
Since forever.
forever since childhood, I've always, I was out there with my fucking sticks, playing them as wands. I've always been interested with my necklace going to the
I was
walls.
always, yeah, no, I
Like
was
I
always
loved my
interested.
magic. I loved
I used to be
anything
making
mythology.
potions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. I always said I was a wizard or I was a witch or you know what I mean. I've always said that, and I never understood why. I thought a part of
I
me
think I
thought I
was
was
a witch for
crazy.
Halloween like 5 times.
So many times I was a
Yeah.
warlock,
Yeah.
and I would just go out in black. Like
Oh, I would dress up.
no, I
I would
mean
be
I
like a
would have.
different type of witch. I'd be like, I'm a
I'm
candy
not
corn
gonna
witch
put on
this
a
year.
witch hat. I'm
I'm a
being
cat
nice.
witch this
No,
year.
I
Or like
love
I
that.
collect all the cats.
Yeah,
Like I would
I got a
literally
cat.
say that. Yeah.
I throw them in my
I
cauldron.
I because I kept bringing cats home
I
for
love
for
that.
like 3 kittens
Period.
home. Like that year,
Period.
my dad kept giving them away. Like because he was like, no, not in this house.
Oh my god, yeah,
And I
no.
was like, let me
So
be the cat witch.
I was,
Like,
I was always something. I loved Halloween Town,
yeah, I
Twitches,
loved Halloween. That was my
everything
favorite
magical you
holiday.
could
When I
think
was
of.
younger, that was my favorite holiday.
Supernaturally,
Yeah.
everything vampires, werewolves,
Oh hell
fairies.
yeah.
Loved
All that
all
stuff.
of that
Mystical,
shit. The
anything like
occult,
that. Yes.
you know?
The esoteric. Like I was
Exactly.
like that too.
That was my, oh my God. And it was weird because, like, that's how I like, that's like where I will say, like, with my paganism, is like, that spoke to me because the beliefs of paganisms,
Right.
right?
Nice try.
Anyway, the belief of paganism
Paganism.
was everything I believed as a child before I knew religion was a
Was the thing.
thing, before you know what I mean? It was just like I
Oh, I
knew
knew religion was a thing. I just didn't know it could be more than what they were telling
telling you.
me.
Well, of course.
Other than I knew like Judaism for a
No, yeah,
long
no.
time.
Like when I was
But just like the
young, when I
basics.
no, no, when I was young, couldn't understand the like basics or concept of stuff like that. That was just I always thought to myself like how everything worked, how death worked, like that, like all everything, and
Oh, I knew. My parents, my mom forced that.
yeah,
Like I was at church
yeah, no,
constantly.
yeah, no,
And I
not
had
my
friends
family.
like young, like
Only time was when I was a little older and my brother was going to his communion, and that was the only thing we did church wise. And then I did maybe like a little. What are those classes?
CCD.
Yeah, I did that for a little bit, and
Right.
but other than that, no. But yeah, when I was younger, before all that, that's how I believed everything worked and how life worked, and it was just something my soul, my spirit knew.
Right.
And I did it, and I forgot all about it just throughout my life until I discovered paganism, read what it was about, read the beliefs, and it was like, when I read it, it was just like a
Oh, that was
reminding
normal.
myself.
Like you just thought, oh, but that's not how everybody thinks.
No,
You know what I
it
mean?
was like reminding myself, like, this
Oh,
is
that's what you.
how I used to
Right.
think back then before all of
Right.
this. Like, it was like my younger self speaking to me,
Right.
like reminding me how we all thought, like how I thought everything
Right.
worked before anyone told me how everything worked. You know, and it was
Right.
like, oh my God, this is it. This is my religion. This is my path.
See, I didn't even know that paganism was a thing.
No, yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
read
didn't know until my discovery of witchcraft.
I didn't know any of it was until I met you.
Mm-hmm.
No idea.
Yeah.
I knew that there must be people that do.
Right. Like other religions.
No, I knew that other people must do when I met you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I've like thought of this,
like people
like that
you
they
existed.
could,
Right.
but
Right.
never ever thought like I'd see it.
Right.
Because
right.
I tried learning tons of nothing stuck with me. I love the tales of like I said, I always call them tales, and that's like not to be offensive.
No. Like the mythology.
Yes, I love like the scripture of religion.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like Christianity.
All of it.
Yeah. Okay,
all of it.
yeah,
Catholicism, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Muslim, loved it.
Yeah.
I love reading it. Buddhism,
Yeah.
loved it. And it never sat. Like it never felt like something I would do.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't seem right. Not that something seemed wrong.
No, right. It just didn't fit you.
Didn't fit me.
Right.
So I kind of like I told you, I would read through all of those things all the time because I was, even when I was a kid.
You read that, what's that book called?
The Quran?
No, the other one. It starts with a Q, I think you said.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't remember.
I don't know how the fuck you pronounce that.
I don't even know. I know exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck, how do you pronounce that? But yeah, that.
There was a whole book I had to read in literally Hebrew at one point, and it was like pissing me off.
Yeah.
Until I had to I was like, I gotta get my uncle. Fortunately for him, had the English, so I was like, give me that, please. But no, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's very it just wasn't sitting. I loved it. I loved it because I liked the idea of belief systems, actually. Like, I love the idea that someone could think higher than themselves, because a lot of people live here.
Right. A lot of people have ego.
Yes, and it's really hard. And eventually, because I could not sit with anything, I chose nothing.
Right.
So I was ego. Like, I was like, okay, then this is it. And that's another reason why it became very cynical, very like, there is nothing. And if you believe that, if you believe that, you're an idiot. Like, that's what I would think. Like, and that's obviously, I was a kid. I didn't know that. And until like I saw like your stuff, where I was like, that seems like something that would work, or something that I would like. You know, something that I think I would enjoy, actually. Like, because it's not just what you read, like, you could actually do these things. And I think that's where maybe my ego thought that. And maybe ego was feeling, because it was like, no, it's in your hands. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Wait, so what I'm thinking is kind of right.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it is about mindset. You. It is about you, but don't be don't be so pessimistic about it.
Right.
Like, don't be selfish about it. Don't be like
everyone.
Right. Don't be like so 3D. Don't be so like, this is it and that's it.
Take everything for face value.
Right. Think about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this really fits. Like, oh right. Where that was it, because I did not. No, I did not know any of that was real until like I met you, and I was like, oh. I thought that it was like people that thought they were living in Hogwarts.
Waving wands going.
And I'll be real. When I was a kid, I lived there too. but I'm not a kid no more.
But I grew up out of the fantasies.
I growed.
I growed
to a full person.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I don't even know what you're on.
Right.
Like, you know. So I was just like, okay, but I didn't. I also realized at that point in my life, I realized that if they believe in it, it's not wrong.
Right.
Like for them to believe.
Right.
Like I started realizing that it's not wrong. I did when I was younger, and if I met you when I was younger, I probably would have been like, you're dumb.
Yeah,
like definitely, yes, like definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point when I met you, I still didn't believe.
Funny. I think we even talked about like how like we've literally lived such similar lives, so parallel. How did we not
never
meet?
Connected?
But it's because we weren't supposed to
until the right moment.
And then we did, and then got rid of the plot.
Yeah, no, because we were, but it was like, okay, now ditch that. Like it was like, get rid of it. And that's why we literally could not reconnect until we got rid of it. We literally could not reconnect until we got rid of it.
Came out my fucking nose.
Like, and when you and if you think about it,
really did.
No, think about this. Think about this too. This is how I also know we were the closest, right? We were the closest, and we were so good.
Yes.
2 months away.
Yes.
She gone for 2 months from literally my birthday till May. Right. Gone. Yeah. She comes back like a week or two later, literally, because we saw on the first week of June.
Yep.
It was like, no, you're not. This thing is not supposed to be here.
Something's not supposed to be here.
Yes. Yeah. That was, and then the only way, obviously, I knew how to get back in was through that. It. So I knew that. Right. So I did that. Mm-hmm. And then after that first meeting,
gone.
I was
like smoke in the air.
Like literally, we started hanging out one-on-one. Yeah. Like again, instead of needing her to be. Yeah, and found out right. Yeah. And that's where I was like, she was not supposed to be in our equation. No. Like not in our equation. Correct. At all. Correct. Like that was it.
Mm-mm. That's like again. That's just for one-on-one. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Is that gonna die?
No.
Oh.
No, it just lights up red.
Yeah, I forgot. It tells you all the fucking scientific bullshit. All right, fancy dancing.
My bad.
Anyway.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. And that's why.
But I'm right, guys.
But that's why I also think sometimes I always think you and I we work a lot better one-on-one in general. Yeah. And like that's no shade to anyone.
Or, yeah, correct.
That we are friends with, that we know, or anything like that.
It just, there is something that it's divine.
Yeah, no, I think it's because we're able to be 100%
authentic, real. 100%
ourselves. Yeah, like we're like, this is it.
It's like we're Snooki and Dina. Like we have, like we can read each other.
We can, we could work well with other people. Yeah, sure, but we can't be 100% ourselves,
right? Because other people are involved. Yes, that's all.
That's no shade.
When it's just, oh my god, again, it's
like there's no fucking way in hell, and that's not even me trying to say something like that, but there's no in hell that we literally slept in the same bed for 6 months. I was just gonna... 6 months straight. 6 months straight. We slept in the same fucking bed, right? And didn't go crazy.
And I didn't get sick of you. I was just going to
we did not, because I would have a weekend whole sleepover with people and fucking lose my mind.
I was just gonna say I could have a week lose my mind.
Yes.
Nobody in my life I could see as much as you. And I did not get sick of them. No. I did not get irritated by them. I did not cut them out of my life.
No, it wasn't like, thank God you're leaving, or like, thank God I'm getting away from you. No, it was like sadness. It was like, now I'm not going to see you.
Because, no, it broke. It was, I lost myself. Yes. I turned to, oh my God. So, no, but it's again where like, and to this day, I can't do that with anyone.
No, I still can't.
It's still like I'm still like that. Yeah. In case anyone like that never has changed with me. You have just always been the exception. It's been weird. My parents have always even told you like they have never seen me have a relationship with someone like I have with you. Like
no, unfortunately, actually, I wish that my parents thought very similarly as yours, and that's actually nothing against you. It's something with their own beliefs. Yeah. Like my parents don't believe you could have a best friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, no, nobody really there for you. At the end of the day, the only person that's gonna be there for you is you. My mom has severe jealousy disorder with anyone that's in my life. Like anyone, like my brother,
literally
you,
anyone,
like everybody, like anybody that ever is nice to me hates them.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, no, they're op. Like she will like hate that, and it's like I don't know what that's what I mean. It's definitely something that stems from
like,
their own
them.
issues.
That's also how they were raised and how they live
right,
their life.
and they've never really seen us interact
Mm-hmm.
because
not as much as my parents.
No, absolutely not.
My father sees it more than anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and and it's not.
He literally thought we were yelling at each other when we were just dancing to something.
We were singing so loud, screaming, dancing it off, and he then busted through the
garage door. Like
it was like, oh my god, I thought you guys were fighting. And we were like laughing so hard because we were like, no. Like we're just the same.
Oh my
like
god.
you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I always think like there's reason like for those and
yeah.
it's gotta be something.
Yeah,
like it's gotta be
beyond.
Yes.
3D.
Like you're right, it's gotta be something divine. Like it's got to be something. Who else have we literally had the same dream? Like or like we've entered each other's dream like, hey,
get out of my dreams.
Yes, like who else is like, what was that screaming?
Get out of my supermarket. I thought I was trying to
we
buy
saved
some
a little boy that we literally think we real life had to have
saved me from my own flood in my driveway.
Like, be for real.
On. No,
be for
seriously,
real. Like you were literally in my dream last night,
bro.
Like it, like literally. So I'm like, my dream last night it was. I was in a car. I was seeing people I didn't want to see.
Don't remember shit.
Oh, you wrote
I remember dreaming, just no memories.
Right.
So, right. Well, that makes sense. I remember dreaming, just I don't remember dreaming.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Right.
No, sometimes that happens.
No, literally. Like you remember you
dreamt,
dream,
but you don't know what it was. Right. No, last night I was sitting in a car. I don't know what was going on. I was seeing people I didn't want to see. I think it was my car. You were sitting in my lap. I don't know how you fit. But you did. We were like talking. I don't even know what was going on. I was sleeping. Like I said, I was seeing people I didn't want to see. I saw my Uncle Roger, like driving, and then Liv was in a car, but she was like a little kid, like when she was little. Like it was really weird. It was a really weird like dream.
I miss when Liv was that
small. Like you know, like she like this was like so little. She didn't have glasses. Like this is when she was like 4. Like no one knew this thing.
Right.
Like and like literally, I didn't even know it. Like I just met you.
Alien.
I just fucking met you. Okay, I've had relationships longer than you. Like I do not know you.
Right.
Like, and yeah, it was just weird. And I just remember I wanted to wake up because I was just in a situation I want to be in anymore.
No,
it wasn't anything to do with you. It was like
it was
the person. And I was like, this, and it was current, which was so weird because I was like, this has got to be current because you have an iPhone 15. Like, that's literally what I thought. I was like, ain't no way. This is back in the day. There's 3 cameras on that thing.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what?
Nah.
But
wake up.
Yeah, no, there's like nobody else. That's why I'm like, there's gotta be some, and like other people, like it's really hard. It's okay. I'll be real. I do struggle heavily when other people are involved a lot of the time because I'm like, I can't be myself right now because it's like you're not gonna get me. Like you're just not gonna get it. Like if it was just him and me sitting here, we would get it. Like we would just like we would reach out mind like.
And how many times we get it and they don't?
A lot, and then they get mad sometimes.
Right? Oh my god, a lot of. How many times?
Y'all is teaming up on me.
Oh my god! Exactly, and shut the fuck up.
Right?
Because what? Shut the fuck up.
Right? What? Who teaming up on you? Get real.
Get real. Get real.
Like, yes, and I always another thing was everybody like I mean they would always be like that we were just agreeing with each other a lot because we're just trying to agree.
And you know,
and I'm like, but maybe we actually just agree.
Have you ever?
Like,
I'm not somebody who
that's going to just conform.
Agree. Correct. I'm not somebody. Do you do that? Because maybe that's why you think that.
Sometimes a lot of time when I don't agree, I'm just silent because I'm like.
Correct.
Because I say because sometimes I'm like
I just be like
it's not even worth that. Yeah, you just be like yeah.
Like you can talk, you can vent.
Right.
But
I don't agree
with you.
Like, and that's
Don't
okay.
take my silence for a fucking agreement.
Yes. Some people, like, they just think we agree to do that just so because we want to agree. And I'm like, no. Because there's definitely been times when we disagree.
Can you get out of my head? Seriously, you've done this like 10 times tonight. No. I swear, backtrack. How many times I've said I was just gonna say, stop. Let me talk.
Okay, go on.
Jumping. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Right. No, because sometimes because we definitely disagree.
Oh, thank you. I was just gonna say there has been many times we definitely disagree on things. Yes. And again, we are also grown adults where we don't want to kill each other for them. Which people need
sometimes
to learn.
We be getting upset. No, but we do. Of course we be getting upset because we're like, okay, but I don't see it that way.
Right,
but it's like whatever. But, let's drop
agree
it then.
To disagree.
Because and again, we don't need to get into it.
Correct. But again, we are grown, and it doesn't, because a lot of people, when they cannot, it
doesn't affect that. Yeah.
When you don't agree with them.
No.
And I don't understand that. Back to the main. I don't understand that. Why are you trying to make me believe what you believe?
Get right. That's not. Stop bending me to your will.
Right. There's so many things I want to say, but I can't say.
Because it's like you gotta name drop everybody under the sun. I know, because I be thinking that too. I'm like, I want to talk about a very specific moment, a very specific
I bet it's the same moment, to be honest with you, because we keep doing that.
Like, we'll just talk about it in the other world.
Literally, bro, trying to force us. This is definitely
you're dumb.
Big R word behavior.
Oh my god.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because why can't you take no? Like, why can't you take it? No. Why can't you take that? What is going on in your head to make you think I want that? Like,
that's annoying.
Right. So it's just somehow looped right back.
Right.
To the beginning.
All right. Well, I guess on that note,
right,
we're gonna end this since it's been almost about an hour and a half. So that's a good time to cut it. This was great. I want to do this more often. I feel like this was very engaging.
All we do is just talk about literally what we talk about
all the time. Anyway. No, literally, we just have to literally put the phone down and press record and just talk.
And just and
that's what I love. Happen. Yes, no, that's what I love. So okay, so we'll definitely do this soon again. Definitely tune into the next Dark Moon Cauldron Chat though, because I think me and Rowan are going to be talking about cleansings and protections, which you're gonna. I said a line tonight. You're gonna rehear it during that live because very important stuff. So yeah, definitely tune in. I feel like that's the best thing to listen to and talk about when it comes to beginning practices. So tune in for that. You might catch another one of these. Who knows? These are great. I love this. Thank you so much, Sam, for doing this, for being a part. This was amazing.
Love the Cauldron Shop.
Thank you. Please go on my Etsy and go to the Cauldron Shop. We will soon be getting my own website, hopefully, if all things work out. Sorry, I gotta hit my little vape. Excuse me. But okay, yeah, definitely tune into the next one. So good night, guys. We love you.
Good night.